Welcome to Ag Shorts. I'm Cameron. With me is my father, Brandon. And today we're going to talk about the impact of supply chain challenges on the front and the back ends of production. This can be a really long conversation, but in 5 minutes, Dad explained some of the challenges that we face as ag producers, both at the up front and on the back.
Well, the very first thing that comes to mind is cost.
Yep.
Regardless of whether or not you've got something available, which is, all of a sudden supply chain is a buzzword.
Right.
But I think we have always said this, everybody says it, and it's so true that, President Kennedy said, and that was
farmers and ranchers pay retail on the front end and get wholesale on the back end.
And then pay the shipping both ways.
Yeah, that's true too.
I
so forget about
that's where when you're talking about supply, I mean, yeah, we're always buying everything at retail price and selling it at wholesale because people don't value, I think, is a lot of it. You don't value something until you need it and truly need it. Right. Then or if you don't have it, don't need it, it's completely out of your bailiwick. I mean, I don't need scented candles. I don't buy scented candles. Therefore, when there's no scented candles available, not a problem for me. Right. Don't worry. Now, your mother, on the other hand, that could be another issue. So it's all depends on your need. And if you don't need something, big deal. But when you start getting a little bit hungry, or you have animals that have got to have something, for instance, water in the summertime, and you supply their water in a certain pasture or pastures with a well, at that point, you're in a world of hurt because you need a part. And if that part's not available, even though you got to travel for it, which is, in our case, almost always, because we stock every single part we have, on a shelf in the shop or in the barn, you got to go get it. And if it's not available to you, then you've got a huge problem. Now you got to go to old schools, find water and start trucking it, filling a tank up, or you move cattle to another pasture where they can get to it. So it's about the need for having parts, not the want, but the absolute need or gotta have to keep things alive. So that supply chain is absolutely important, and people don't realize that so much when they're not dealing with that, because for most people, there's not that immediacy of need. You may want something, but I can live without it for a little bit.
All right.
Until I get to town, or until, if you're living in a city, until the weekend where I can go and get it, if I'm working and store closes or something. But for us, it's a little bit different type of immediacy or need. And sometimes that is, we needed it yesterday, and we're making moves to sometimes in kind of congruent manners, like, okay, I'm going to run to town. You guys get these cows moved or start hauling water, so that you've got a contingency while you're doing it. We've rarely had to do that, but it could happen, so it all depends on the need. And then if you're faced with, I don't have the part, that's an issue. I got a friend of ours, really good friend of ours, that I loaned our flatbed trailer to so he could haul some hay. He got the hay hauled, got down a check engine light on his pickup and started running like crap. And he called me and he says, hey, I can't get your trailer back to you. It's like, it's no big deal. We're not going to need it for, a while. Hang on to it. He says, yeah, they got to replace a part in my pickup, but they think they might be able to get the part in 2 weeks because of our current supply chain issue. Is, so even for him, that's living near town and has to be on call, doing some certain tasks, he thinks, put somebody else out. So it's a real thing. Trying to get pieces and parts for things. Even I was looking to order a fuel pressure regulator for that pickup. It was running rough. I figured out that's what it was. And I got online. I thought, I'll just get it online and get it sent to me. Out of stock. A lot of things out of stock. So
yeah. Well,
There's
but
not much you can do about that. But I did find it locally though. I was able, luckily, there you go. Found it in town, and so there's a trip to town.
yeah, it's just the challenges that you have both on front and the back, both of cost and deliverability. So with that,
Right.
that's supply chain challenges in ag.